one of the things that I think most of us struggle with is figuring out what's the most important thing to us, getting our priorities straightened out. I mean, sometimes it seems like it would be obvious. I know that there are those of us who have spiritual truths that is the most important thing to them, and there are those of us whose children are the most important things to them. And it hasn't always been easy for me to sort out because growing up, my mom was it. She was the most important thing to me. And I did kind of go through a phase of connecting with and getting uh, immersed in my faith, which really helped me survive some really crazy things in my life. So I'm really grateful for that. And I am also grateful that that is still with me and is sort of my guiding light. On the other hand, um, we live here in this world and trying to figure out what's important to us as we live in this world and where our priorities are in our life, that sometimes can be pretty darn tricky. And it's really tricky if you have not felt good about yourself, right? I'm Melody Brooke. I'm a licensed professional counselor. I'm a marriage and family therapist. I'm an author. I'm a speaker. And I think that was Gary. Hi, Gary. Hi, Drew. I don't have my glasses, so it's always hard for me to read. Yes. But thanks for being here. So, what I've become more and more aware of as I work with my clients is the struggle. Hi, Matthew, that we have with understanding our priorities and what is really important. And we tend to spend time on things that are not that important. Like, how much time do you spend binge watching on television? And is that really where your priority is? Is that really what's important to you? I don't know. Maybe it is because there are those of us who are actors and who spend a lot of time studying the technique of acting and the techniques of filmmaking and script writing and all that sort of thing. So maybe it is. I don't know. You're the only one that can know that. And this is another thing that I've really been struck by is how many of us spend our lives with our priorities wrong in that we prioritize what other people think should be important to us, and we have a tendency to go after those things that maybe our parents or our spouse or our children or our friends think is important. Maybe you are not a person who really wants to live in a corporate environment, but really wants and whose priorities are more living and being a part of nature and going on hikes and camping and going on river rafts and things like that. But your whole life is structured around the city. So w- recognizing the truth of what's important to you is really about in in my understanding and what I've come to see with my clients over the decades is it's important to listen to what matters to you, not what matters to society or what matters to your spouse or your family, but what is it that truly is important to you? What is it that lights up your heart, that brings you joy? And for some people, that's all about giving in their church, right? That brings them tremendous joy. For some people, that can be, being a janitor and cleaning up a space to make it beautiful for people. For some people, it can be creating a great piece of music or art or writing a wonderful screenplay, which does bring me joy. Is that the most important thing to me? No. I do love doing it. I love telling the stories. I love touching people's hearts with the stories that I tell. But what is the most important thing to me? The most important thing to me personally, I think, is having an opportunity to make a difference. And sometimes that means screenwriting. Sometimes it means working with clients. Sometimes it means speaking a truth through a character. Sometimes it means connecting with people on a one-on-one basis through my friends or my family. So for me, the most important thing is to find a way to make a difference for other people and for myself, and to feel like my life is having some kind of impact. And all of us are different because the impact that we have may be different for each of us. The guy who is a janitor can have a huge impact on not only his environment, but the people that he interacts with every day. So figuring out what's important to you and living that is how you live a happy, joyful, thankful life. If you're not doing that, if you are just creating income, maybe that brings you joy. I don't know. I don't want to put that down. But I'm just saying, whatever it is that your purpose is, whatever it is that is truly important to you, that's what you're here for. And most of us ignore that. I mean, I do know people like my dad who does get great joy in creating income. And he has also learned to help other people create income. He's built this whole town of Sallisaw, Oklahoma, and rebuilt a whole downtown and helped people start their businesses. And it's so fun to see him really in his joy. And all my life, I was, I had this sense that money was the most important thing to him. And now seeing the way he's using that joy to help other people just blows my mind. So we can find it even in those things that seem, like, I don't understand that. I don't understand how somebody could make money a priority. And yet, there are ways in which making money a priority makes a huge difference in people's lives, right? So I don't know. You figure out what's really going to bring you joy, what really matters, what's really important to you. And don't listen to other people about what that should be, because you are the only one that knows you. You are the only one that knows what your gifts are, what inspires you, what your emotional reactions are to things. And that is how we know who we are. That is how we express who we are, is through those things that bring us joy, those things that are really important to us. And it makes a difference even in the smallest ways sometimes, even if you're not a person who's out there like I am and, trying to talk to people and writing books and writing screenplays and acting and doing all those kind of out there things that I do. You don't have to do that to find that importance for yourself. Whatever that is for you, whether it's serving your family and just being there for your kids and your grandkids, that's just such a beautiful thing. Whatever it is that's really important to you, and you're the only person that can know that. And I want to say that again. You are the only person that can know that. But in order to know that, you have to truly be willing to know yourself. And sometimes that's a scary thing. Sometimes that can be intimidating for people because your whole life, like me, in fact, have perhaps have been taught that you don't matter, and that what's in the world's best interest is for you to do what other people think you should do and be who you think other people should be. And that is just wrong. It is a recipe for anxiety and depression and just general life unhappiness and grief. And I haven't always been the best at figuring out what was important to me and managing to show the people that I love the things that are most important. But I'm growing, I'm changing. I think we're all on this path together. And underneath it all, that growth is really the thing that inspires you to do those things that are important to you. And you have to be willing to do the work of getting to know yourself enough to know for your truth what that is. And that's not always easy. Sometimes it takes a lot of work. I know it has for me because I've had to peel off layers and layers and layers of distortions and misbeliefs about myself and other people in order to get to a place where I can truly say, okay, I'm getting it now. And you know what? I'm going to peel off more layers and I'm going to get more pieces and I'm going to have more awareness and I'm going to be more connected and more able to be myself and share those things that I was brought here to do. And that's what I want for all of you. Again, I'm Melody Brooke. I'm a licensed professional counselor. I'm a marriage and family therapist. I'm an actor, a screenwriter, an author. You can find my book on Amazon. It's called Oh Wow, This Changes Everything. And that name came because one of my friends said that when she read it. And I am here every Tuesday. Now, I did miss you guys last week. I was off skiing. That my lovely hand. It looks horrible and scary, but it was really just blood vessels that burst in my hand because I, slammed them across the ice a couple of times. But it's not really as painful as it looks, and hopefully it will heal up soon. Anyway, thanks for joining me, and I will see you next Tuesday at 4 o'clock.